Stop using lead magnets in your clinic. They don't work for a local business. I had a call last week with a clinic owner who had been told to run a lead magnet by a marketing agency. So they did. But that lead magnet attracted 0 new patients, but a lot of money gone from the wallet. Because where you have a local clinic, we don't need to run lead magnets. But lead magnets are something which agencies will say because they don't have the experience in actually working in a clinic and think a lead magnet is the way to go because that's what they do. But just because some things work online versus offline, it doesn't mean that it should be translated every single time. For example, just because a business online has a big YouTube channel, it doesn't mean that as a hyper-local business, being your clinic, needs a YouTube channel as well. Most of the time it's just a waste of time. So here's why you shouldn't run a lead magnet and what you can do instead. Because the only reason why an agency would run a lead magnet is because the reason why businesses run lead magnets typically online is because there's one key thing which they are missing, which you have and they don't, which is the bridge of trust. They are trying to bridge that gap of trust. They are trying to get someone who doesn't know them, who could be in another country, to getting them to give you some money. That's why they create a lead magnet to bridge that gap. So they get drawn into their world, put on their email list, and actually get to see what they are like and actually trust them that they understand and know what they can do to actually help. So being in a hyper-local market, your patients don't need to bridge that gap of trust because you inherently have that trust already. And we build trust in 3 key ways, the 3 P's of trust, which is perception, proof, and proximity. First is perception, which is knowing your client's pains better than they do themselves, which is understanding them. That builds trust. These are in order. So that is the way in which you can establish trust most. This comes way before any Google reviews and things like that, which a lot of people naturally go to. Whereas if you can explain to them the aches, pains, and issues that they are experiencing, but you can explain it in a way that they couldn't even do themselves, they would put trust in you. Secondly is proximity. So if people are next door to your clinic, they put trust that they can see you're an actual business. When I was in clinic, we would have this all the time where people would call up and they'd see us on a Facebook ad and be like, "Are you a real business?" And we're like, "Yeah, come and see us in the clinic." A lot of people want to see that you are an actual real business. So they put trust in proximity, trust in you being part of the community. And finally, we have proof. So proof is the last thing, which a lot of people try and lead with it as the first thing. Proof is Google reviews, things showing that you've got case studies, you've helped people like them before, your credentials, how long you've been in practice, things like that. But that is bottom of the pile. That is basically to kick someone over the line. First up, to build that trust and grab them in, we've got to go for those first 2 ways, which are perception and proximity. Therefore, for us to establish trust in your clinic, to get a stranger to come in for an initial consultation with you, we don't need to give them a lead magnet because that's more opportunities for them to drop off. Instead, because we have this inherent trust being proximity, you are close to them, you are part of their community, what do we do to go above to work on perception first of all? Because you don't even need proof. The proof can be there to kick them over the line. So what can we do to build that trust first and foremost? Go on perception. Help them feel understood. How do you help them feel understood? Just explain their pains to them better than they can themselves. Which ultimately is a way easier thing than creating some lead magnet, which is some PDF, which no one's ever going to use because they can get that information on AI anyway these days. So ultimately, the agency gave you the right tool just for the wrong market. Instead, we just actually need to run an ad which has perception, proximity, and proof all led within it. That way, you'll be able to get people in without ever having to run a lead magnet or anything like that. Because people want you to help them rather than read a PDF about their back pain. If you want my help doing that, just go to the link in the description and click there and I'll be able to help you get started.